Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and as we come closer to the summer movie season, we get closer to seeing some big Disney releases. Of course, as Avengers: Infinity War and Solo on Memorial Day, a month apart, two movies that are poised to take home a great deal of coin. And there is, once again, the same group that's popped up wanting to try and scuttle their Rotten Tomato score as a way to hurt the films financially. And that, of course, is the Down with Disney's treatment of franchises and its fanboys, a Facebook group full of trolls that are very much just at this point getting super annoying. I understand why they don't like Disney. I understand why they don't like, what's going on. I get it. But at this point now, they're not really having an impact. They wanted to go after Black Panther, to which case they were called a hate group because some of them are alt-right. I mean, again, you have the culture warriors on one side that are going to be arguing about identity politics, and that's a reason why they were targeting Black Panther. But then you have these guys that are basically saying, like, look, we just hate the way they've treated people, and they've treated the franchises, and it's not a hate thing. I honestly, at this point, I don't quite know anymore. So let's take a direct look at what they are saying. Now, it says here, anti-Disney group plans to sabotage Avengers: Infinity War and Solo: A Star Wars Story ratings. Now, of course, this has everything to do with Rotten Tomatoes and just the audience score. Now, that is being used heavily for criticism in terms of Star Wars: The Last Jedi and the fact that Rotten Tomatoes has come out essentially and defended that score, because they ultimately they cannot sit there and say that there's something rotten in Denmark, that someone gamed their system, because it would put everything else involving their algorithm or their everything they do in question, and they can't have that because at this point they are still the gold standard of Metacritic sites. So it says sabotaging ratings of movies is all the rage these days, as it seems to be more common than ever was before. For those who are unaware, there's currently an anti-Disney group out there on Facebook who routinely gets shut down, only to resurface before a big movie comes out. It happened with Black Panther, and now the group called Down with Disney's treatment of franchises and its fanboys is back. The latest post from the group features boasting about success in altering the ratings of that film, as well as their plans for the future. Yeah, here's the thing. Black Panther, over $1 billion. It's made a lot of money. So whatever success this had is just really dumb trolling at this point. It's not having the impact they want it to have. I understand that they want to undermine Disney, but Rotten Tomatoes is just one aggregate. It's one outlet. It's one publication. There's still Metacritic. There's still CinemaScore, which they can't really alter CinemaScore. Well, there is a way to alter CinemaScore. I mean, quite frankly, guys, if you want to alter CinemaScore, find out where they're going to be at, which is not necessarily hard, and then just have a lot of people there and say the movie got really bad scores. There's ways to troll them if you want to do it that doesn't require, kind of subverting, posts on a message board. Now, it says here from the Facebook group, "Hello, everyone. Yes, I am back. Now you might be wondering why, after this time away, that I needed to come back after my semi-success with getting Black Panther downvoted 79% versus the original 90s score, and putting the score well below Wonder Woman is still a win." Rotten Tomatoes, again, has come out basically and said that nothing happened, so who knows if that is just them trying to protect themselves. Now, it's all with one simple reason: the hate you feel for movies like The Last Jedi and Solo: A Star Wars Story, and all the Marvel movies. Yes, it still exists as well. I feel it too. I see it, and it warms my heart that everyone in those comment sections still give into the hate regarding Disney's liberal agenda and see it for what it is. I dislike Star Wars: The Last Jedi, parts of it, for how they handled the characters. Again, this is a narrative issue. A lot of people have a narrative problem with it. You sitting there I think you're overstating what's going on. I think you're overplaying your hand here, man. I really do. And you guys already hate me as it is, so I don't really care. But you're overplaying your hand here. You're trying too hard, especially with, so far, come on, you're 2 paragraphs in and you're already a tryhard. Now it says, "You may say that you aren't alt-right and despise us, but you only despise us out of the fact that we say what's on everyone's minds. We are the ones that speak out. Years and years of liberal conditioning made you think that we are the bad guys. We aren't. Say it with me. There's nothing wrong with being straight and white and male and wanting our representation. You all want it too. Don't deny it. I see it all the time in the comments, which is why I need to come back." But that wasn't even really an argument beforehand. This is like the first I'm really hearing about the liberal agenda. You went after you know, The Last Jedi for like how it treated the franchise. You went after these other movies for how they treated the characters. This feels like a whole new person is running it. This feels like a new agenda. That, or you've decided to really play up the alt-right handle you were given from the last time and really give in to the hate, the dark side here. Come on. If you don't like how they've handled the franchise in terms of the stories that they've told, fine, but leave the identity politics out of it, man. Like, at this point now, you're literally no better than those that are complaining about Isle of Dogs and cultural appropriation. Like, I have no sympathy for you. I don't mind if there are characters that aren't straight, white, and male in movies. And I say this as a straight, white, male guy. I only care if the characters are good and the writing is solid and the plotline makes some sense and they don't throw out these Hail Marys that make no sense down the road. Like Flying Leia. All right, like that kind of thing. You're so desperately trying at this point, and I don't know why I'm giving you attention. I shouldn't, but at the same time, my job is to cover the news, and you fuckers keep making it. Now, I will still fight for balance and for Disney to crawl back to the hole it came from and to ensure that my friends and like-minded compatriots who love the DCEU/Zack Snyder and the Star Wars EU who want Legends canon to continue will have their victory. See, right there, that is something I can actually get behind you on, because you're talking about canon of characters, canon of situations, and of course the situation involving Zack Snyder and the DCEU and how Warner Brothers tossed him under the bus. Those are things we can agree on, but neither one of those things have anything to do with cultural politics, identity politics. None of that narrative is even remotely a part of those discussions. Do not conflate the two. They are not part of the same conversation. Now I may not have the same kind of sway I used to. I mean, getting that 5,000 odd folk to rally behind Black Panther was no easy feat, and maybe Rotten Tomatoes has a contingency plan is afraid of us DCEU/Zack Snyder fans, but I can still spoil all those silly Disney movies for all those sheep that are still out there. Because yeah, that's, you know, you want to bring people to your side and you want to tell them, hey, listen, I don't like how they've been treating the characters and the stories and the canon from the Legends and all of these other things. So I'm going to spoil movies that you want to see, stories that you want to check out. I'm going to spoil those for you so you know that this is all Disney's fault. No, this is you being a cock and doing it for really petty reasons, just super petty. And just to reiterate, once again, one more time, if you hate The Last Jedi, as well as what Solo, a Star Wars story, stands for, and what the MCU and its influence did towards DC movies, you are on my side and a part of my cause. No, you're not. You're not. That's a load of shit. You're not on your side. All right, I'm not a big fan of The Last Jedi, of what they did to it. I'm not a big fan of how Warner's got cold feet over Snyder's stuff and decided to go a different direction, but that's all part of the studio system and how it's played out. You are conflating issues here, of which I believe you know you're doing, and you're trying to make this bigger argument. It's not. And I hope anyone out there that's curious about this reads this and realizes that it's BS. This is complete BS. It's okay to hate forced diversity. Fight for what is right. Fight for... God damn. Fight against the anti-straight white male hate. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fight for the EU/Legends. Fight for the DCEU and our Lord and Savior Zack Snyder. I know there's trolling at that point. Will you? And if my page gets taken down, I will continually restart it. I mean, yeah, it says here, obvious troll is obvious. But it's true. And then, of course, Rotten Tomatoes does have a statement here. And they said, we at Rotten Tomatoes are proud to become a platform for passionate fans to debate and discuss entertainment. And we take that responsibility seriously. While we respect our fans' diverse opinions, we do not condone hate speech. Our team of security, network, and social experts continue to closely monitor our platforms, and any users who engage in such activities will be blocked from our site, and their comments will be removed as quickly as possible. And of course, that is what they said the last time. That is what they said the last time. That's the same statement. What I dislike about this guy is that he's doing what the left does. He's claiming, to be fighting for what's right, so to speak, but he's using the exact same tactics of the left. Now, he could argue, and there are people out there that will argue, that this is how you combat the left. You use their logic against them. You use their tactics against them. But no. You can't sit there and argue, you're using feelings over logic here is what you're doing, and trying to bring in the alt-right straight white male agenda. Dude, come the fuck on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I know it's a troll. I get it's a troll. I see that it's a troll. It's still frustrating as hell, because this is what kind of crap people like me fight about. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I run another channel with about 162,000 subscribers. And I constantly talk about the left and cultural politics, cultural identity, identity politics, that kind of narrative, and I push back against it. All right, but here's a situation where you've got someone who claims to be on the right using the exact same tactics. So I'm going to call back against that too. If you want to see change in Star Wars movies, if you want to see change in the MCU and how it's unfolded, or how, you know, DC decided that it doesn't have the testicles or the stones in order to stand up to the type, or, you know, to defend the type of content that it made in order for it to get a foothold, instead of, you know, meddling in Batman v Superman, getting 30 minutes cut out, therefore effectively tanking what was going to be a good, solid billion-dollar theatrical run. I mean, that's what you want to rally against. That has nothing to do with forced diversity. It's everything to do with studio politics and executives with overzealous notes and that get cold feet over not trusting the audience. This is nothing to do with identity politics, and the fact that you're trying to conflate the two pisses me off, because all it does is confuse people who don't know what's going on and don't know that these two issues are not related. So if you are not wanting to see Star Wars Solo, or Solo a Star Wars story, or Avengers Infinity War, for the reasons because you don't like where the stories have gone or the franchises have gone, fine. That's entirely fine. Those are in sense, those are valid criticisms. But when you start pulling out the straight white male card, that is, oh dude, that is literally just one of the worst tactics you can take, and it's so stupid. It's so dumb. And it's only going to continue because people like this get off on this kind of stupid attention. And I shouldn't talk about it, but I am talking about it, so I know I'm part of the damn problem. I admit that. But seriously, just fuck these guys. However, I am curious to know your guys' thoughts about this. Be sure to let me know in the comments. They should be fun. The dislike ratio on the video should definitely be interesting. And I will talk to you guys later. Of course, my name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, thumbs it up, subscribe, and if you want to see more from me, and I hope you do, you can do so right now.